Hello Gemini, this is your astrological forecast for the month of October 2016. And this also applies if you have a Gemini rising, also known as a Gemini ascendant. And you should be checking out your rising sign horoscopes as well. So just go find the sign that is your rising sign and watch that. It'll give you extra dimensions on this. Speaking of extra dimensions in horoscopes, those of you who watch my weeklies know that I've kind of switched to bi-weekly horoscopes, but I've also included astrology. So what this has actually done is I've kind of done it in a way where it's like this can help, the people who maybe just like one or the other still get the most out of them, because some folks resonate more with astrology, some resonate more with tarot, and there are reasons for doing so. I've heard them all a million times. But what you can do is just watch the astrology portion. The astrology is the first half. Okay, and it's covered on a bi-weekly basis, and I cover aspects and things like that are definitely more like daily and weekly considerations, and not so much the big moves and seasonal shifts that would be in a monthly horoscope. So you might want to check that out. And of course, if you want to get a session with me, you can always go to integrativemysticism.com, my website, to schedule a session. So what's going on with October? October is actually very peaceful, very relaxed. Not a whole lot of nonsense in the sky. That Neptune-Saturn square between Sagittarius and Pisces is done and gone. We're not going to be seeing anything like that for a long time, at least the next 7 years. So let's enjoy that. Let's all be happy about that. So let's see what's happening for this month. Well, let's talk about some leftover energies. We've got Venus in Scorpio in your 6th house of reputation and daily work. In the first half of the month, all the way up until the 18th. And this is actually working on, let's find ways to make you some easy money in the first couple of weeks of this month, Gemini. So some easy cash. Things that you might be actually getting paid to do projects or take on extra effort and things that you feel are almost overpaid for the work that you would have to put into them. But I would not necessarily feel too guilty about that. Somebody really does think that you deserve the coin that you're getting at that point in time, so let's just let them give it to us. We've also got Mars in Capricorn all month in your 8th house of intimacy, as well as your venture capital, debts, self-employment income, and all of that. Now, Mars can be a double-edged sword in this area of a person's chart. On one hand, our supplemental income, our passive income, the money that we make on the side, is on the rise. Our tips, our commissions, our incentives are on the rise. Our sales are going up very, very high, very nice. However, the temptation to spend or the temptation to borrow will also be there. So be careful about making sure that you're actually saving more than you're spending with this extra money coming in. It's not time to, start throwing our money around like this is forever. This is a gift, but it's not a gift to be wasted. All right. Another thing that can happen with Mars in the 8th house is that you may have to pay attention to where, any kind of new loans or new purchase opportunities that come your way may need to be negotiated down. And I want you to be a little bit more comfortable with haggling because Mars takes on the side of the buyer, which would be you. All right? So what else is happening this month? Well, on the 7th of the month, we do have Mercury going into Libra, which is in your 5th house of love and romance. And this is more the area that talks about the honeymoon phase, the dating phase, the infatuation phase. And it's not a dirty word, by the way. Infatuation's a perfectly fine, rational, and relevant word. And with Mercury going into Libra, you're going to be seeing opportunities, way more opportunities to date many more people, because usually Mercury speeds things up, but it also propagates. So those of you that are single, put yourselves out there. Don't wait for somebody to break into your house. Make sure that you can get out there and mix and mingle. We're also going to be seeing dialogues, however, speed up here as well, regarding an opportunity to connect with a special somebody who may only seem like a friend, but they are definitely like in creative mind and could go further than that. This is also a great time for those of you who need to or would like to reconnect with your kids or get inside your kids' heads, because Mercury in this part of your chart is going to be making them a lot more vocal, a lot more accessible to you, especially between the 7th of the month and the 24th. On the 16th of the month, we do have Aries having its full moon of the year, and this is falling in your 11th house of friendships and social networking. And unfortunately, between the 16th of the month and the 30th of the month, some of you Gemini people may be realizing it's time to move away from a certain friend or maybe even a friend circle. May not be necessarily feeling these people anymore. Or maybe things are already very tense and things could come to a head around that day. So if we're trying to save it, certainly don't have that heart-to-heart with your friend on the 16th. But if you are willing to let it go or it's about to go, it may be wise to just kind of grow apart as opposed to try and force each other to grow against their own grain and, just let it go. Okay? On the 18th, we do have Venus moving into Sagittarius, into your 7th house of committed partnerships. And what is the 7th house rule? Well, remember, it's all about your closest one-on-one relationships. So your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, BFF, business partner, all of those. And with Venus going into your 7th house, you can expect people to be a lot more not only connected, but equally emotionally available to bond. Okay, people are going to be a lot more affectionate. If you've been feeling like a friend or a partner or, is not being very transparent, they're not feeling like they can be very affectionate, or maybe they've becoming, growing a bit distant, or maybe growing a bit insecure, this is going to change their attitude a little bit. It's going to make them a bit more confident. It's also going to make them more comfortable. We're not going to be dealing with, with unnecessary underlying, struggles and troubles, because what's happening with Venus is that it's not only pushing towards peace, but it's pushing for a lot more amorous attention between the two of you. So the latter half of the month is definitely going to keep up that romantic vibe that we had before. On the 22nd of the month, we've got the Sun moving into Scorpio, into your 6th house of reputation and daily work. And this is also going to be focusing on how do we get you, Gemini, into a position where you are actually able to attract more financial opportunities to yourself and to be able to be seen and remembered, collecting more return opportunities. Because the Sun is talking about, it's almost like giving you a badge of honor. It's making you a VIP. And it's pushing you into the limelight. It's getting you the attention that you want. You just got to make the impression. And with the Sun being here in your daily work, you may also notice that your work is becoming more enjoyable. We may be noticing better business, whether it's better business because we're getting more money, or better business because we're enjoying our clientele better, our customer base better, our coworkers better. Harmony is returning to the office for a lot of you. And this could actually be a really good sign, because if some of you might have been feeling like there was no saving it, well, the Sun moving in here may actually do its part. And this will actually come with its own share of financial rewards as well. And luckily, this trend is going all the way up until the 3rd week of November. So it's not a short-term trend by any stretch of the imagination. On the 24th of the month, we do have Mercury moving into this 6th house of reputation and daily work. And now we're propagating your name. Okay, if you've been feeling like we're not having the conversations we need to have with a boss or a coworker, or you've been having a hard time maybe even getting an idea off the ground, getting a proposition accepted, getting a request even reviewed, this is where we're starting to see more circulation in those communications. We're also seeing with Mercury in the 6th house an opportunity to catch up on any kind of health concerns you've been maybe kind of wondering about. Odd time of year to be thinking about, maybe losing weight or getting in shape, because usually this is the time where we all just, start to pig out. But with Mercury going through your 6th from the 24th of the month, going all the way in to November, this actually may not be a bad time to consider, trimming down just a little bit, because Mercury does also speed up the results from the efforts and treatments you'll be putting yourself through, or the fitness regime, regimens that you've been putting yourself through or will be putting yourself through at the time, because we're also seeing faster payoffs with Mercury there. Finally, we've got a new moon at the end of the month in this part of your chart, in the work area. And this is a time to be thinking about new opportunities, whether they are a new schedule or even a new job, if that is what you would like to do. This could also indicate a new opportunity to work directly under or directly alongside somebody extremely influential, because the new moon in the 6th house is kind of changing your norm, but it's always changing the norm for the better when it's a new moon. This could actually be a situation where we are customizing the perfect situation at our workspace. And with the new moon in the 6th house, you may also be noticing that there's an opportunity, if you would like to take it, to expand on your animal population, because usually the 6th house can also talk about pets. And so for some reason, it's kind of an oddball thing, but it did jump out. I do feel like a lot of you Gemini people may even be finding an opportunity to get yourself a new friendly little companion to keep alongside yourself as well around the end of this month or beginning of November. So a new pet could also be showing up as well. So that is your forecast, Gemini. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And of course, if you'd like to get a session, you can always follow the links below or go to integrativemysticism.com.